Hello students, today we're going to solve question 2 from GATE CSE 2029. The question states that it is an English type of question in which multiple choices have been given and we have to select a single option to be filled inside of this blank, right? The best way to do it is just read the sentence with every single word inside of this blank, as there are only 4 options over here. So we can go on with this approach and have the expectation that we will reach the answer in a reasonable amount of time, right? So let's do that. The search engine's business model blank around the fulcrum of trust. Okay, so business model of the search engine is something, the fulcrum of trust. What is fulcrum? So suppose that this is the something on which a rod is supported, a beam of wood is supported. If you were to put pressure on this side, right, so this part serves as the fulcrum. This is called the fulcrum. It is comes from mechanics actually. So over here this fulcrum means that it has to be the basis for it, should support the mechanism, right? For what? For this business to be present, that is being used by the search engine, right? So let's do that. Let's put in the words and see if it fits over there. The search engine's business model revolves around the fulcrum of trust. This sounds very good. Yeah. Let's try with this word, plays. The search engine's business model plays around the fulcrum of trust. No, this sounds a bit childish, right? Sinks. Let's try that, right? The search engine's business model sinks around the fulcrum of trust. No, this is negative. This is not the case. Bursts, right? So the search engine's business model bursts around the fulcrum of trust. No, 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 not this also does not make sense. So over here, the first option revolves over is a single word which when put inside of this blank actually seem to make most sense. So if I were to be giving the examination, I will mark the first option as the correct one, right? As right now we have time with us, we can go into the definition of these terms. Let's go into that so that we can have a better confidence that we have solved it correctly, right? So first of all, this is the dictionary definition of revolve, right? What does it say? It is a verb. Overhead, the fan revolves slowly, go around, turn around, rotate, spin, and okay, something that is going around, turn, and like that, right? This is the business model turning around the search engine? Yes. And that is acting as a fulcrum of trust? Yes. So that fills in all of the criteria which you're looking for. So right over here, this revolves does not have any meaning which will be directly opposed to what we are desiring over here, and the meaning that it does possess is directly fitting into this sentence very nicely. Okay, let's see the definition of plays. We know the definition of plays to a certain extent, right? So it engaging activity that is enjoyable, activity for enjoyment and recreation rather than serious or practical purpose, right? So business is not is basically something that is which is serious and has a practical purpose to make money for the businessman, right? So plays, as is mentioned by this meaning, has a meaning of enjoyment and recreation, right? Business is not a child's play, right? So this particular plays word has a meaning which is not fitting for this sentence, because this meaning can be interpreted over here and it is going to cause the whole sentence to be sound ridiculous, because a business is a serious enterprise, right? So this place cannot be used over here. Okay, so we have bit more confidence over here that place cannot be used. Fine. Now the word sink. What does sink mean? Go down below the surface of something, especially of a liquid, because become submerged. Okay, if that is the case, it has to become submerged. Okay, fail and not be seen or heard again. Now this meaning is something which is directly opposed over here. The search engine's business model. When we are talking about business model, that means that we are analyzing the how the business is operating, right? So when we are discussing it is operating, and we are discussing about the fulcrum of trust, means trust is being considered, so it is currently operational, right? It is not sinking, it is not failing, right? As is present over here, fail means that it sink means it is failing. We are not discussing failure, we are discussing how it is operating. So this failure sinks over here is not going to be present inside of this blank, right? Makes a lot of sense, direct sense actually. So this option is not very good also. Let's see the last one, burst. What does this thing mean? Break open or apart suddenly and violently, especially as a result of impact or internal pressure. Okay, be so full as almost to break open, feel a very strong or irrepressible emotion on or impulse, right? So is a search engine a business model which is going to burst? It is going to basically have a irrepressible emotion? Not really. It is very, when you're doing a business, you have to have a very calm mind. Calm mind, CALM, calm mind, for it to be, because you have to think for the long run, right? So bursts and emotions of that sort are not used in contexts when we are discussing business. I mean, not at least in their direct meaning that is being used, right? Because there is no wordplay. It is just a single sentence. If wordplay was present, then burst could have meant something else. The profit bursted upon us and we are happy. That is something we can use. But this is not that. Profits and losses are not being discussed. It is in general, the business model cannot burst, right? So this thing is not really the case. So the answer over here is going to be the first one only, right? I know that English is something that you practice. You practice and practice and practice. English is a language. The more you use it, the better you understand it, right? So it's an aptitude type of question, and I know that it is something that you will only master by practice, right? So most probably you would have been able to solve this already, and I am only giving affirmation to what you have already solved, right? But anyways, I think and I hope that you must have learned something, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.